Every year, more than 5 crore people file their income tax returns, and more than lakh people make these common mistakes, which we are going to discuss in today's video. But lakhs of people make the mistakes which cost them lakhs of rupees in taxes, in filing interest, or by filing wrong ITR. Now, wise is a person who learns from other people's mistake. So in this video, we are going to discuss 10 most common mistakes that people make while filing their income tax return and how you can avoid them. So without further ado, let's begin. Hey there, I'm Sonia Davar, Chartered Accountant and Business Finance Coach, and on this channel we share with you all the tips, tools and resources that you need to start and grow your profitable business, save lakhs of rupees on taxes and build your own wealth. In today's episode, we are going to discuss the 10 common mistakes that people make while filing their ITRs. And this is just first video in this series. With my 10 years of experiences filing hundreds and thousands of income tax returns for the last 10 years, I have got a list of more than 35 to 50 mistakes that most people make while filing their ITRs. So I'm going to be breaking all of these mistakes in 5 sections, and in today's video we will discuss the most common mistake people make, and in the following videos we will discuss the most common mistakes people make while filing income from salary, income from house property, income from business or profession, income from other sources, or any other income that they have to report. After this, there are going to be 4 more videos coming your way. So you need to watch this video till the end to avoid making any mistake in your ITR. And depending on the income that you earn, you also go and watch those respective videos. Like if you are filing your income from salary and other sources, after this video you go and check those respective videos so that you can avoid making any mistake in your income tax return. Now, before we go ahead, if you really like what we share on this channel, don't forget to hit the like button, and while you are there, subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so that you can get informed whenever we drop a new content especially for you. Albert Einstein said the hardest thing in the world to understand is income taxes. So if a man of his genius finds understanding income taxes difficult, well, you and I are common men and common people. It's likely that we might make these mistakes. But after watching this video till the very end, you can save yourself from the 10 most common mistakes that many people make while filing their ITR. So without further ado, let's begin with our mistake number 1. The first and the most common mistake that many people make is not filing their income tax return on time, or not filing the income tax return at all, thinking that TDS has already been deducted on their income and now there is no liability for them to pay taxes, and hence there is no need to file the income tax return. After all, who wants to shell out another 500 rupees, 1000 rupees to pay to your tax advisor or a chartered accountant to file income tax return when the tax has already been paid? And that is where you make the first and the most common mistake. How do you do this right? So first, you have to file your income tax return before the due date of filing of income tax return, even if all the taxes on your income has been deducted by your employer or by the bank and there is no tax liability. There are various reasons to do that. One is, by not filing the income tax return, you are liable to pay the penalties, and you are also at a risk of getting a notice in the future where income tax officer will say that we have got the notice that you have earned so and so income but you have not reported, and hence you have concealed the income that you have earned, and now you pay the tax with interest and penalty. And in that notice they might not even consider the TDS that has already been deducted by your employer, and then you will have to go through all the hassles of tying up the numbers and explaining it to your income tax officer that the tax has already been deducted. So you don't want all of these hassles. years after you have even digested the income that you have earned. So don't make this mistake. File your income tax return, know your tax returns. There is a video, what are the updated due dates for you to file your income tax return for FY 2021. So go ahead and check that video as well. So the due date for filing of FY 2021 as of the date of recording of this video is September 30th, 2021. In case there are changes in this date, there will be a video available on this channel. So you need to go to the playlist of tax updates, and within that playlist you will find the video where we will explain you what are the extended due dates for filing for the year for which you are filing the income tax return. And don't forget to file it before the due date so that you can avoid paying all the interest and penalty on filing of income tax return. The second most common mistake that people make while filing their income tax return is selecting a wrong ITR form. How do you correct this mistake? So every year income tax department revises the forms and comes up with the new requirement that this form is applicable for this people, and the requirement for filing different forms might change. So last year you might have been eligible to file your income tax return in form ITR 1, but due to changes in your income, as per your income for current year, you might have to select ITR 2 for filing your income tax return. So do your research of what ITR is available as per your conditions. So everybody's income is very unique. Don't go by that my friend is filing ITR 1, so I should also just go ahead and file ITR 1. You need to check the respective form applicable based on the income that you have. I have a separate video on how to choose the right income tax return for you, and go ahead and watch that video here and download the checklist for ITR filing so that you will know exactly what form and what documents you would need for filing your income tax return. The link to the checklist is in the description below. The third most common mistake that people make while filing their ITR is not updating correct information about the bank accounts that they hold, or not giving the right bank account for getting the income tax refund. Now let's see how you can make this right. So when you file your income tax return, you need to update all the bank accounts that you hold, whether single or as a joint holder, and all the bank accounts that you have opened during the year and closed during the year. Next, what you need to do for this is select a primary bank account where the name as per your bank account should matches with the name as per your PAN card. Now, if you have a bank account, let's say my name before my marriage was Sonia Shah, so I had a bank account with the name of Sonia Shah, but now I am Sonia Davar after marriage, and my name as per PAN card also is Sonia Davar. I cannot choose the name of my bank account which has Sonia Shah as the name and use it for my primary bank account where I want the income tax refund to hit. Because of the change in name, even though there is the same person at the back end, you might not receive the income tax refund in your bank account because the name as per your bank account and the name as per your PAN card does not match. So don't make this mistake. Give the primary bank account where the name as per bank and the name as per bank account matches exactly. The next thing that you need to do is to link your bank account with the right mobile number, and your primary bank account where you want to receive your income tax refund should not be a joint bank account. It should only be a single bank account with your name on it, and it should not be a bank account with cooperative bank or a bank account with a foreign bank. So make sure that the primary bank account that you are giving for income tax refund has the same name as per your PAN card, is not with any cooperative bank, is not with any foreign bank, and is not a joint account. You have to give a single bank account. If you don't have one such account, you might need to open such account before you give those details to income tax, because with any of these combinations there will be delays in getting income tax refund, and in most cases you might not even receive the income tax refund that is available to you even after your return is processed. Now let's discuss the fourth most common mistake that many people make while filing their income tax return, and that is not pre-validating the bank account. Let's see how you can correct this mistake. From FY 2019-20, Income Tax Department is only processing income tax refunds by way of online transfers. And these online transfers are happening only to the account that is already pre-validated. So pre-validation is a process where you validate that account at the income tax portal that this bank account is actually your bank account, and you do that by submitting the OTPs that comes on your mobile phone and email ID. If you don't know how to pre-validate your bank account, I have a separate video on that, and I will link that video on the I button above and will provide the link in the description below, so you can go ahead and check out that video and do a pre-validation of bank account if you have not already done that. The next thing that you also need to do while pre-validating your bank account is to enable EVC. EVC is electronic verification code. So once this EVC is enabled, you will be able to e-verify your return with the EVC OTP that comes on your mobile phone. So having a pre-validated bank account where your EVC also is enabled will help you do the e-verification of your income tax return faster, because you can then just do that by updating the OTP that comes on your mobile phone that is linked with your bank account. And the fifth mistake is mentioning the old residential address where you are not residing anymore. So having a correct residential address while you file your income tax return is not only important from the perspective that where you submit your income tax return, people might match your residential address with your other residential proofs, is also important for any communication that is being sent by income tax department to you. So if you're not staying at the resident address which is mentioned in your income tax return, then you want to change not only in your income tax return, I would also suggest to go ahead and change your residential address at the profile. And also second, if required, if you're not residing at that particular residential address anymore, you might want to make that change in your PAN card as well. So you might want to change the address at your PAN card if you've permanently changed your residential address. Now, the seventh most common mistake that many people make is not updating your mobile number while filing your income tax return, or updating your chartered accountant's mobile number or tax advisor's mobile number while filing your ITR. Now, why is this a problem? Many people might feel that, it's better my chartered accountant is updating his mobile number and he only is e-verifying my return, so why should I even be bothered? But yes, my friend, you need to bother about the mobile number that you are updating in your income tax return, because any communication that the income tax department is sending you is now only by way of your emails and your mobile number. So you don't want to get a notice where you are not being informed and your CA is informed, and by that time you might have even changed your chartered accountant or changed your tax advisor, or you are not even in contact with them. So it's not a good idea of giving somebody else's mobile number. Income tax department allows you to update your tax advisors and chartered accountants mobile number and email ID as a secondary mobile number and email ID. So use that place and update the mobile number and email ID of your chartered accountant correctly, so that when income tax department sends you any communication, the secondary email ID also is being informed, so they are informed, but you have the primary responsibility for taking any action that the income tax department is sending to you. So always be in the loop and always give your mobile number, which you always access when you file your income tax return, so that you are always updated for any communication that comes from income tax department. Now, there is a pro tip at this point, that you should have the same mobile number as per your Aadhaar card, as per your bank account, and as per your PAN card. You don't want to have any changes in the mobile numbers given at these places, because anytime if there are any changes and you don't know which mobile number is linked with your Aadhaar card or bank account or PAN, you don't know where you would be receiving those OTPs. So you want to keep all of these things synchronized, so that you know that OTPs will always come to one phone whenever you need them for your income tax returns purposes. Now, if your Aadhaar card has a wrong mobile number, get that updated ASAP, even before you file your income tax return, because after you file your income tax return, you might have to e-verify that return, and you might also need to e-verify it using the Aadhaar OTP. So you might not really get a lot of options if the mobile number at your Aadhaar card is not really matching, or you don't have access to the mobile number which is linked with the Aadhaar card. So if that is not matching, take this opportunity and take this as a reminder that you need to go and change your mobile number at Aadhaar card, and do that before you file your income tax return. Now, the 8th most common mistake that many people make while filing ITR is updating a wrong email ID. Let's see what are the problems and how you can resolve them by when you update a wrong email ID. As I've mentioned in point number 7 when we discussed about mobile numbers, the same thing is applicable to email ID as well, that if you give a wrong email ID, Income Tax Department will not be able to contact with you, and now all the assessments and all the communications from Income Tax Department happen through email and mobile number. So it is very vital that you have a mobile number and email ID which you have provided in the income tax return and your income tax profile, so that you can get communication directly at the email ID that you can access every single day. A pro tip at this point is to not give your corporate email ID in your income tax return as the email ID. So it might happen that at the time of filing your income tax return, you might be working with that employer, but while getting communication from Income Tax Department regarding the assessment or any future communication, you might not even have access to your corporate email ID because you might not be working with that employer anymore. So you don't want to give the email ID of your corporate or the employer where you are working in your income tax return. Always give your personal email ID which you always access. Don't give your Rediff email ID if you do not really access that particular email ID anymore. Give the ones that you always check and that is also linked with your phone, so that anytime you get an email from Income Tax Department, you get a notification on your phone as well. And again, if you want to give your chartered accountant's email ID or your tax advisor's email ID, you can do that by way of updating this information as secondary email ID, so that anytime Income Tax Department sends any communication, the secondary email ID also is being informed. But again, you are the primary responsible person to take any action for your income tax return that you file. So always give your mobile number and your email ID as the primary email ID and mobile number for communication. Now, the 9th most common mistake that many people make while filing their income tax return is not updating the residential status correctly. Now, let's see what are the problems and how you can resolve them when you don't select your residential status correctly. Now, from financial year 2021, which is the year in which I'm recording this video, there has been a change in the definition of a non-resident, and now you will be considered a non-resident only if you have stayed in India for less than 120 days, provided your total income in India is more than 15 lakh rupees. So if your total income in India is less than 15 lakh rupees, then the number of days is the same as previous years, that is 181 days. So if you have stayed in India for less than 182 days, you will be considered a non-resident. And the benefit of being a non-resident is that only your Indian income is taxable. So you don't have to pay tax on your global income. But if you are not a non-resident and you are a resident of India, then in that case, global income also is taxable on you. Now let's check who are resident but not ordinary resident. If you are a resident of India, then global income is taxable in India. So even if you are earning income, say in the US, and you are a resident of India, you will need to report your US income when you file your income tax return in India. You might get some credit of the taxes that you have paid in the other country. In this case, it is US. So don't forget to compute your residential status and accordingly report your income in your income tax return. Now, these provisions would not be applicable for you if you were a non-resident or you were a foreign citizen who had to be in India because of COVID reasons. So as COVID and pandemic hit in 2020 and from March of 2020, there have been restrictions on global travel, and because of this, there have been many foreign citizens and NRIs who have not been able to go back to their countries, and they are now staying in India but still working for their foreign company. In that case, these will not be applicable as there is a separate exclusion, but for getting that you need to submit certain forms and report to the income tax authorities that you are not liable to file your income tax return in India. Now, the 10th most common mistake that people make while filing their income tax return is not updating the passport details even when they have one. So one of the mandatory information that income tax department asks from people is to provide their passport numbers as well. And many people, even though they have their passport numbers, they don't provide, only thinking that I might not want to provide this information to income tax department, but this is the tax authorities and they have the right to know all the details that you might have, and you don't want to hide this information when you file your income tax return, because if you have a passport and you have gone abroad and you have spent lakhs of rupees outside India and that gets reported to income tax department, and they come to know from the banks and the credit card companies that you hold that you have spent so much money outside India, but you have not reported this in your income tax return, it is a short way of getting a notice in the future. So you don't want to take these things very lightly. Whatever information has been asked in the income tax form, you submit those details appropriately and make a full note of whatever income that you earn. You have to report everything. Even if the income is exempt from taxes, you have to report those incomes in your income tax return. These are just the most common mistakes that many people make while updating their information. We haven't really discussed the common mistakes that people make while filing their income for different heads of income and filing their deductions. So don't forget to check out our other episodes, and if you really like what we've shared with you in today's video, do give us a like button. I have kept a target of at least 1,000 likes on this video. If you like this information, also share this video with other friends and also let them know that these are the mistakes that they need to avoid, and do subscribe to the channel because we always come up with awesome content for you. So with this, I will see you in the next video where we will discuss the most common mistake that people make while filing their salary return. So don't forget to check that out. And with this, Sonia Davar signing off. Bye for now.